Protecting taxpayer data isn't just best practice, it's the law. As a tax preparer, you're required to create and implement a data security plan, also called a WISP, a Written Information Security Plan. On the EA exam, they'll test this as a compliance requirement, not a tech suggestion. If you don't have a WISP, you can trigger an investigation, and if a lapse causes an unauthorized disclosure, penalties can follow. Think of a WISP as your firm's playbook for handling tax return information safely. It should cover how you collect data, store it, transmit it, and dispose of it. It also assigns responsibility. Who does what when something goes wrong? A common exam trap is thinking, we use encrypted software equals compliance. Encryption helps, but the requirement is a written, implemented plan with procedures, not just a tool. You don't have to invent your WISP from scratch. The IRS gives you a starting point, Publication 5708, which includes a sample written information security plan for a tax and accounting practice. On the exam, remember the publication number and what it's for, a template to build and document your safeguards. In real life, you tailor it to your office, your software, and your staffing. Safeguarding data also means stopping identity theft before a return is filed. The IRS specifically suggests confirming client identities and taxpayer identification numbers. Practically, that means you request a picture ID showing the taxpayer's name and address, and you ask for social security cards or other documents that prove the TINs for everyone listed on the return. Exam tip: identity verification is a preparer's safeguard, not just a bank's job. Operational safeguards matter too, because identity thieves race you to file first. Filing clients' returns early, when possible, reduces the chance a fraudster beats the legitimate taxpayer. E-filing helps because you can get duplicate return notices faster than with paper filing. And set expectations. Tell clients refunds may take longer as security checks increase. The exam loves these practical steps because they're simple, but they reduce risk. Here's the compliance mindset the IRS expects. You collect sensitive data, so you must control access and prevent unauthorized disclosure. If your processes are sloppy, shared logins, unsecured email, no written procedures, you're taking on penalty risk. On exam questions, look for language like unauthorized disclosure and confidential taxpayer information. That's your cue to think WISP, identity verification, and the confidentiality rules that back it up. Under Internal Revenue Code Section 7216, it's a federal crime for tax professionals who knowingly or recklessly disclose confidential taxpayer information to third parties or use it for any non-preparation purpose. In which scenario would a tax professional be allowed to disclose confidential taxpayer information without the client's prior consent? Options include disclosure to the taxpayer's employer, to bank staff for a mortgage, to other preparers within the same U.S. firm, or to Social Security Administration employees. Think about it. The correct answer is disclosures made to tax preparers working within the same tax preparation firm in the United States. That's permitted under the 7,216 regulatory exceptions when it's for tax return preparation. A tempting wrong answer is the bank mortgage situation, because clients often provide returns to lenders, but that's a third party, and without proper consent, the preparer can't disclose it. What is Internal Revenue Code Section 7216, and why is it relevant to tax return preparers? The choices include a criminal section about disclosing or using tax return information, a civil due diligence rule for EITC, a civil fraud penalty section, or a criminal fraud penalty section. Think about what 7216 is actually targeting. The correct answer is that 7216 is the criminal code section that details penalties for preparers who knowingly or recklessly disclose or use tax return information. That's why it's central to confidentiality and data security. A tempting wrong answer is the EITC due diligence option, because that's a big preparer topic, but it's a different set of rules, and it's civil, not 7216.